episode 213 of
Brutal Battle.
Yep, so coming off the Beer Me Bro, which I did win, to the surprise of a lot of people, including myself.
Yeah, we know.
This is the third episode in Kyle Norman's recording session, so why don't we do a warm-up beer?
That sounds great to me.
And it's actually a beer that Kyle himself brought, and he brought a bunch, and he was like, pick one. And I said, I want to pick this one because you've never had a beer from this brewery, and I want your first taste of that brewery's beer to be on podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. My buddy Eric, he actually gave me one of these beers on the way down here, literally. We stopped in Lancaster, had a couple beers at Mad Chef Brewing. It's in Lancaster. It's actually pretty good if you ever get up to the Lancaster area. Mm-hmm. Give it a try. They do a lot of like cool foods and stuff like that. The one food we had was it was a blueberry waffle with like fried chicken and some sort of like bourbon maple something. And then there was bacon on it, and it was just a small plate.
Good right now.
It was a small plate, so it was this little like 3-inch waffle and just like one little leg of like it was perfect. It was so good. It hit every flavor. It was wonderful.
Wow.
No, it sounds awesome. Yeah, they're doing some good food and some pretty decent beer up there, too.
Cool. I'll have to... Rebecca and I will have to check it out.
Yeah,
sounds
for sure.
Awesome.
So on the way down, we stopped there, met up with Eric and Melissa, and he said, here, I got something for you. And it was this freaking awesome chalice from Springhouse. From their Skull chapter. And then this beer that was in there, and I'm like, oh, sweet, what beer is this? And I look, and it's Tired Hands. It's their hop hands.
Yes.
And I'm like, holy crap. I was like, I've never had Tired Hands. Because they're down near Philly somewhere, right?
Ardmore. Yeah. Very close to Philly. Yeah.
Okay. So, but these are beers that people trade for. And people line up hours in advance for.
They do.
And I've never had one because, I live...
You're not going to drive that far and stand in line.
Right. I live like 5 hours from Philly, so I'm not going to drive down there to stand in line for a few hours just to try this beer. So when he gave me this, I'm freaking excited. I'm like, this is amazing. Can't wait to try this. And I'm like, where am I going to try this? I was going to crack it open at the hotel. And I'm like, this is a great podcast beer. And I was like, in case Carlin's never had this one in particular, which I thought you probably have, I was like, I want to save this for him anyway. So I'm pretty excited that we get to indulge in this Tired Hands Hop Hands.
I will drink some of this on podcast, but I would like you to drink the overwhelming majority of it. Because I have had it before, and it's very good.
Well, we will have to save some of it for the girls, too, if they haven't had it. I think Rebecca has.
Rebecca has.
Erica, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know if Erica has or not.
I can smell that beer from here.
Yeah, it's, aroma on that, flavor on that. It's that type of beer.
Yeah.
It's very good. You can just give me a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just because I've had it before. I want you to be able to have the majority of it. That's probably good.
Yeah,
it's a nice beer. So this is a pale ale, right?
I'm not sure.
Yep, American. Their version of an American pale ale.
I mean, this looks like that typical New England style. Yes. Very, very hazy, very cloudy. Pretty yellowy.
I think this was one of the first few New England style beers I'd had ever. It's like some years ago, and I was like, whoa.
And it smells just like a lot of them that I've had. Like that Dancing Gnome that I just gave you.
Yeah.
They have this smell. The Brew Gentleman, like they all have kind of this beautiful hop aroma to them.
There's a little bit of sweetness on the nose, but lots of citrus.
Yeah.
Just like real light. No bitterness can be discerned in the nose, really.
No, not at all.
Pretty typical.
Pretty excited for this.
Smells great. Super easy.
Oh.
But tasty.
Yeah, that's crushable. Yeah, there's very little bitterness. Pretty much no bitterness almost.
It's super low bitterness, lots of citrus flavor.
Citrusy. It is a little bit bitter though. I get a little bit of an unfinished, but it's nice. It cleans your palate.
Yeah.
Gets you ready for that next hit of citrus.
Yep.
It's really good.
It's a tasty beer.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's wheat in this?
I think oats.
Oats, that's right. That's what gives it the cream.
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, you're right. It's oats, not wheat. Yeah, I knew they threw in another grain.
Yeah, that's what makes it...
texture. Yeah.
That's what takes a lot of the bitterness down. Gives it that a little bit of a creamy mouthfeel to it.
Yeah, and I think that attributes to some of the haze too.
So,
man, that is a really nice beer. Thanks, Eric. Man, I can't thank you enough for this one.
Good job, Eric. You the man. Hopefully you enjoy the crap out of that beer because it is a nice beer.
Yeah, it's a very nice beer.
So while you sip on that,
hopped intensity with Simcoe, Centennial, and Amarillo. I love freaking Amarillo. It's one of my favorite hops.
Those are all nice hops.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. So while you sip on that, I'm going to go ahead and get into some beer news. And it's relatively recent because I saw some people kind of like posting on Facebook in this beer group I'm in about it, kind of asking questions like, what's going on with this? What's the deal? Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of looking around. And this is from Brewbound. If you go to bevnet.com, BEVNET.com, you can read about it. They have all sorts of like beer articles on there. So this one is about Pabst Brewing's lawsuit against MillerCoors, and it's going to go to trial. I'm going to read some of the article for you.
How big is Pabst? Because I know MillerCoors is massive, but I don't know how big Pabst is. I know they have their Blue Ribbon. Do they even brew any other beers?
You know, actually, I can try and look it up.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were part of another conglomeration or if they were owned by somebody or actually what was going on.
Would you be able to look it up on your phone?
Yeah.
While I go over the article, and then we can circle back to that.
Yeah, you go ahead and.
So here's some of the article. Pabst Brewing's $400 million lawsuit against MillerCoors is moving toward a November 12th trial, and that is this year, 2018. The case stems from Pabst's contract brewing arrangement with MillerCoors, which brews Pabst Blue Ribbon, Old Milwaukee, there you go, and other Pabst brands. So apparently they do have other ones. That deal is slated to expire in 2020. However, Pabst holds options to renew the contract. If the deal dissolved, Pabst would be left searching for brewing capacity for its largest volume brands. Despite the renewal options, MillerCoors has argued that the company may not have the brewing capacity required to extend the contract. As the company's volumes continue to decline, it may be forced to shutter its production facility in Irwindale, California. MillerCoors has attempted to avoid a trial, but a Milwaukee judge in April denied the company's motion for summary judgment, according to the Milwaukee Business Journal. For its part, MillerCoors, via a spokesperson, told CNBC that the company, quote, routinely evaluates its footprint, capacity, and efficiency, but has no plans to close Irwindale or any other brewery at this time.
Huh.
So, basically, in this contract, there's an option for Pabst to extend, is what it sounds like, but MillerCoors is kind of saying, well, even if you want to extend, I don't think we can allow you to extend it because we may not have the ability to accommodate the space for all your beer that needs to be brewed.
So does that mean that which one of them has increased production? Because if they can't accommodate it, then that means that either MillerCoors is producing more or Pabst is producing more.
I would assume MillerCoors.
Okay.
Or both of them. I mean, it's possible both of them because, as you know, hipsters love Pabst Blue Ribbon.
They do. Not just hipsters, but Kevin Rush loves a good PBR.
There are a lot of people. Well, the thing is, like, PBR has become this kind of, like, culture reference. Mm-hmm. You know? It's just kind of like a thing.
My cooperating teacher, when I was doing my student teaching, he always told me this story. He said that they went to a Philadelphia Eagles game, and they said it was snowing, it was freezing cold, and I'd forget how we got talking about beer or whatever, but it was snowing, it was freezing cold, and, you know, everything was freezing up on them. They had, you know, Miller Lite and Bud Light and Coors Light, you know, they had all those beers, and they were all just basically ice cubes.
Yep.
And he said that there were 2 beers that you could drink that they had there. He said one was Guinness, that it wouldn't freeze. Of course,
yeah.
And he said the other one was PBR.
Really?
He said, but we had to drink it pretty quick because it turned to slush. So it was like a beer slushy.
Got it.
But it just always made me laugh that PBR, you know, weather resistant. So if you're looking for a good outside cold weather beer, I mean, who knows?
Hey, why are they not looking at this marketing angle? You know, like PBR, get on that. That's an amazing marketing angle right there.
I mean, if I want a beer to drink outside in the cold that's not going to freeze, I think I'm going to go for like a 120 or something.
Sure.
Something that's really not going to freeze and it's going to make you feel all warm inside.
Yeah, that's a sipper though. Definitely a sipper. Actually, you have a case of that at your house.
I did, yeah. I did.
It's gone already?
No. That only half of that was for me. The other half was for my buddy Matt.
What did you do with your half?
We split a case. I still have some of it left. I mean, I give it away as, gifts and presents and whatever.
Sure.
Drink one here and there. We actually recently did a 5-year 120 vertical.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
That was great, right?
The last day of school teacher party, we got a bunch of people together and did a 5-year vertical. It was awesome. I've never done a vertical before, so it was my first one. I was pretty happy with it. So, I mean, some of that went to that, and, it's just fun. And Matt's doing a 10-year. I did the 5, he's doing the 10.
Jeez, dude. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, we're going to need like 20 people.
How great was the 5-year-old one, though?
It was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite, though.
Really?
Really.
What was your favorite?
My Butter Zone was about 3 years old.
Okay. I don't think I've had a 3-year, so I'd love to be able to try that.
Yeah, it was the 15 was really good. Because it was kind of the common, because I like the heat from the 120. Sure. I like the little bit of alcohol bite. And the 3-year it wasn't bitey, but it was pretty smooth, but not crazy smooth like the 5 one was.
Okay.
But it was good.
I love smoothness in beer.
Yeah.
Smoothness, man. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Yeah. All right, so I found the Pabst Blue Ribbon product line, and this is from Wikipedia, so take it for what it's worth.
How much of a product line is this?
Well, it's PBR, Jacob Best, Ballantine, Schlitz, which I don't even know if Schlitz is produced anymore. It was one of the top-selling beers during the first half of the 20th century. So who knows if they still even produce it. Blatz, Old Milwaukee, which is still produced. Mm-hmm. Colt 45.
Ooh.
St. Ides, Stroh's, which I've seen. Old Style, Lone Star, so that one's out of Texas.
Yeah.
Olympia, Rainier, Schmidt, and then one of your favorite beers, actually, Natty Bo. Is a PBR brand, apparently.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Natty Bo was the flagship beer of the National Brewing Company in Baltimore, Maryland. It is a Bohemian-style American beer. 90% of Natty Bo sales are in the Baltimore area.
Well, it's time for me to do my mandatory rant about Natty Bo. It has nothing to do with Maryland anymore. It's not brewed in Maryland. I know it used to be, but people get over it. It's not a Maryland beer. Have no pride in it anymore, please. That's just like, having a car plant in like Michigan, and then the car plant relocates to another country, but people still have pride in that manufacturer.
Yeah.
It makes no sense because it's not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
Just saying. That's my rant. I have to do it. I have to.
Yeah. All right, so we got a little off topic here, so
yeah, your thoughts on this lawsuit between Pabst and MillerCoors. $400 million.
I mean, that's not a small chunk of change, man.
No.
I mean, you could open up take your own brewery and take your $400 million, open up another brewery and increase your production.
But MillerCoors also has some of that AB InBev money now.
Yeah, so, because they're one company now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Although I think MillerCoors still owns some things separately on the side.
Okay.
From what I've heard. Yeah, which is kind of weird.
But, yeah, it would make sense, though.
But it's also weird because Miller did that when they merged with Coors. They held like a little thing off on the side, which I think was their Molson stuff.
Okay.
In Canada.
Yeah.
But Coors wanted in on that, and I know there was some infighting with that. I don't know what the outcome was. But it's just weird because like Miller and Coors merge. Miller's like, we're going to hold this little thing on the side. And then MillerCoors get bought out by AB InBev. But then they're like, we're going to hold this little thing on the side. So there's like a thing on the side within a thing on the side. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But,
yeah, I understand that, $400 million to get a chunk of that AB InBev stuff. But, I mean, that's a lot of freaking money. $400 million. Are they really going to lose that much in sales because they can't produce it? Is that how they came up with the number?
I don't know. I mean, their distribution footprint for the Pabst products have to be pretty large, I would think.
Yeah, well, like you said, they had the hipster resurgence.
Yeah.
And that kind of brought it back into the spotlight a little bit.
I mean, I don't doubt that they're making good money. I really don't doubt that.
Yeah.
But how does it get to a point where MillerCoors is saying they're not going to have capacity? Like you were saying, like, is their amount of what their demand has gotten so large, or
everybody wants those Blue Mountains. They're after the Blue Mountains, Carlin.
There's only so much cold Rocky Mountain water. I don't understand. It's just, but
yeah, the production has to be up on one of them, and I don't know. I don't drink either one really, so.
I mean, I hope they sue each other into oblivion. That would be my hope. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But
I think AB InBev is kind of a behemoth.
Well, and maybe that's another portion of it is that
they're worth billions.
Is that AB InBev is taking up some of the tank space that MillerCoors has with their stuff because they keep making acquisitions, and I know that they're not necessarily keeping all of the beers at the breweries that they're acquiring. Yeah. They're moving it to other places. So
So they're trying to keep up with all these little tiny brands and brew one beer here, one beer there.
Yeah.
And then still trying to add more because they want more shelf space. And I know that's part of the reason why they change packaging all the time.
Yeah.
Is so they can take up more shelf space.
Well, that and just to make, trick people into thinking, this is new, never seen this before.
Yeah.
No, it's just new packaging. It's the same beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every time they put out those NFL cans, people go crazy for them, and they want to get their team, and they want to support them, and they want to do this, and
I want to know
they want to go to the game and drink a Steelers can.
Is it Steelers or Stolers?
Steelers cans.
So I want to know what percentage of people who buy those like NFL cans actually think it's a different beer. I guarantee there are some people who actually think it's a totally different beer out there.
I don't know about that because those people, the people that drink the like Bud Light and Coors Light, are hardcore those beers.
It's true.
Like they're like, I can taste the difference between those two. Yeah, probably not. Probably not if we did a blind tasting. They probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between three of them.
I don't know, because when I was in college...
But they're so hardcore, they want that same beer.
That's true.
They just want to get the extra can, so they want that extra incentive.
Yeah, I'm sure people, collect it.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, beer nerds collect craft beer cans and bottles and stuff like that. Yeah. I have some in my house.
Yeah,
Guilty.
I do too. Yeah. I've got a whole shelf.
I don't know. In the end, I think this is... That topic's something I don't really care that much about, just because it's two companies I don't like just fighting each other. But it is interesting.
Don't pretend like you don't love Natty Bo. You're going to be very depressed if that production ceases.
I would be excited. I would be very excited. So actually, this could be win-win for me.
Yeah.
Either it's a monetary blow to MillerCoors or it's a production blow to Pabst.
Yeah.
This is a win-win for Carlin. I like this. I like where this is going.
This is just a great day for you, man.
Yeah, I know. Gosh. Man. Oh, man.
Jeez.
All right. Anything else to say about that?
I really like that Tired Hands beer. Oh, wait. You said about the Coors thing. No, I don't care about Coors.
Well, then the Tired Hands beer. Good, right?
It's wonderful. I already finished it. I'm going to keep sipping on this here.
It is very good.
For a while.
The last time Rebecca and I stopped in at Tired Hands, because they have amazing tacos, we were very, very lucky because we were able to pick up some 4-packs of their 16-ounce cans, which typically they're not just sitting around. So when you get that opportunity, do it. Definitely. And people, if you're within driving distance, definitely check that out. It's great.
Yeah, I know when I was talking to Eric when I got this beer, he said that one of the times that we're down in the Lancaster area, he said, we'll have to make a run down. Because I guess it's not too far from Lancaster.
I don't know. Geographically, when it comes to driving, I'm not good at that. But I assume it can't be that bad.
Yeah, either way, I'd still like to, even if I can't get cans, I'd still like to go to the brewery and try some of their stuff. Because I'm sure they always have stuff on tap.
I was a little let down the last time we were there with what they had on tap.
Not with the tacos, though.
No, not with the tacos. Never let down by the tacos, to be honest. They're so good.
Does every brewery have their own, little signature food that they do?
No.
Because, when I think Dogfish Head, I always think that crab corn chowder.
Yeah, that's really
good. Because that
good.
thing is phenomenal.
But they do a great job with pizzas, too. They have really good pizza.
Yeah. Tired Hands is apparently good with little tacos.
Trogs. I know. They do a lot of different stuff at Trogs.
Yeah, they have one of the best pretzels I've ever had.
Their hop popcorn. Their hop oil popcorn is really good, by the way.
I've never had that.
Yeah, really good.
Let's look at that up.
Anyway, enough about food.
Yeah.
Let's do some mystery beers then.
It's lunchtime.
I know. I'm a little hungry. I probably will need to eat at least a little something after this.
Lunch beers.
We'll find out.
All right.
All right. So first one looks like maybe another Pilsner.
You sound like a broken record, Carlin.
Yeah, I know.
It's yellow and it's very clear with a thin white head.
Yeah, I don't see much through it.
I don't know what else to say about it.
It smells.
It's still got a little bit of a Pilsner characteristic.
Yeah.
This one smells a little sweeter.
Must be another Pilsner. Yeah, it definitely smells a lot sweeter than the Furstberg. Was that what that one was? From Germany?
Crap, dude, I don't know.
Furstberg, I think. Oh, actually, I have it sitting next to me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, it was Furstenberg. Yeah. Furstenberg.
I get a hint of melon on this one.
Yeah, I can see that. Like honeydew?
Yeah, like
honeydew?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Doesn't smell that bad.
No.
It smells relatively clean.
Yeah, it smells kind of like a...
There's just a little bit of like a funky, like Pilsner thing on the end that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
That Furstenberg did not have.
Swirled too vigorously.
Yeah. Just swirled a little out. Whoops. That happened.
Yeah, I mean, it smells like a Pilsner. It smells kind of like the first one did.
Yeah.
Hopefully that means it's kind of like the first one, because I like that one.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's try it. That tastes like nothing. Nothing with a little bit of aspirin on the end is what it tastes like.
I don't really get the aspirin on the end. I get a little bit of like almost banana. Like if I'm really reaching through, but it is really thin.
I feel like there's a slight lemon peel on the end of it. It's flavorless. It's pretty flavorless.
Like I said, if I'm reaching, I get maybe a little bit of fruit, a little bit of sweet. I said I get a little bit of banana, which is weird. But
it's got a little bit of a medicinal note, though.
I don't get that.
There's this little nagging medicinal note on the end of that flavor, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's real thin. There's not a whole lot to it.
You know, it's honestly...
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not, like, offensive or anything. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that little medicinal note's a little bit, but not bad, so... Yeah.
It could be worse.
Yeah. But it's not good.
Could this be a macro?
It could be. It's pretty drying, too.
Yeah.
Which I typically get with, like, those macro Pilsners. They're usually very drying. Yeah. Could be.
I don't remember the macros having this much flavor.
God, there's, like, no moisture in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's just, like, all sapped it away.
Yeah, it's the desert in your mouth. All right, well, let's move on to this next one.
Hopefully B's a lot more interesting.
This one's reddish.
Yeah, very red.
Yeah.
Very, very red. Look, amber ale. That's what it kind of looks like.
Possibly.
See right through it.
Oh, caramel. Butterscotch.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's...
So much caramel.
Yeah, that's a much better nose.
Wow, that smells really, really good.
Alcohol. I'm getting a little bit of astringency off of it.
I get a slight, like, woody note in there.
I'm not getting wood. Like I said, I get just caramel and butterscotch and a little astringency and a little bit of roast.
It smells a bit like a Scotch ale.
No, you might be right on that little barrel character.
But with smells for me, I oftentimes get confused Scotch ales and Weizenbachs or Doppelbachs.
What a dumbass.
No, I mean Weizenbach. Doppelbachs. Doppelbachs and Scotch ales for me are just very hard to tell apart.
So different. I don't know how you could ever confuse those.
But I feel like typically Scotch ales have a little more sweetness to it, which I feel like I'm smelling in this. Yeah. But I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, it does smell sweet too, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of sweetness, but it smells good.
Oh, it's a good sweetness.
Because of the caramel in there.
Yeah.
It just makes it like a nice sweetness to it.
It almost reminds me, the smell almost reminds me of like an Old Stock.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Ooh.
It's pretty good.
This is good, but I don't know what it is. It's even more caramel than I thought on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of caramel.
It's so much so that it's actually making me think back to that French Broad Chocolates episode nice. With those like homemade nice caramels. Like, I don't know the last time I've had this much caramel in a beer.
This beer was enrobed in caramel.
Enrobed, exactly. The ingredients enrobed in caramel.
Just picture the waterfall, the enrobing waterfall of caramel coming down.
I mean,
it's astringent though.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, this is saying at least 10% for me is what it comes off as.
If it's not 10%, then they just didn't do a very good job of hiding the alcohol.
Yeah, it's there's a little bit of a fruit character in there though. I feel like there's a quick hint of like an apricot that hits really fast and then fades away. It's like between the caramel and the astringency.
See, I was thinking something darker like a raisin or a plum or something.
I can see some raisin. But I really think there's just like this quick hint of an apricot in there.
Yeah. Hey, it's good.
The astringency's tough.
Yes, it's rough on the end.
Astringency starts to get a little hard. Mm-hmm. It's really roasty though too.
Yeah.
Like it comes off almost like a slight coffee roast to it. Not quite, but almost.
Go back to A. It really tastes like nothing.
I bet.
No, I said go back to A, not your water.
Yeah.
Can't tell the difference between your water and... Yeah, it tastes like nothing.
But it dries the hell out of my mouth still. That didn't change.
Yeah, and the other one's extremely alcoholic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, these are two opposite ends of the spectrum, I believe, as far as the ABV goes.
Very light, very alcoholic.
You know,
I still like it, though.
I'm going to say I still feel like there's apricots of that. I still do.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it, and I don't.
That's going to my head off. Whoa. It's just like, whoop. Straight, I definitely need to eat. Straight up there. I don't know what to do.
I mean, I'm going 2.
Yeah, I'm going.
There's
going
nothing.
2.
There's nothing offensive. I am impressed with how clean it is.
Yeah,
because there's no off flavors or anything like that. But it's just nothing. There's not much to it.
There's that little medicinal note, but it's not enough for me to bump it down to a 1.
It's like I said. There's not really any off flavors to it.
For the most part, it's a benign beer.
Yeah.
It's meh. It's there. It's a beer.
It's probably PBR. How funny would that be?
It would be. But that stuff has happened on the show before. Actually, way more than you would think it should.
Well, remember last time we did the beach one, you were talking about rate beer. And we ended up getting a beer that had the rate beer sticker right on it.
I have never, ever seen that again in my life. It's only that one beer. Yeah. It's so random.
All right, so for B, I'm torn between a 4 and a 5.
Yeah, I am too.
I love the smell. It's got some good characters. But my problem is that alcohol on the end.
I know.
It's really astringent.
I agree.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go 5.
Okay.
I'll do 5.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to stick with 4, though.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of bite.
Okay. But that's still good, 4.5.
Yeah, that's still really good, yeah.
That's the best, the second best rating we did. The Wise and Grey New England Style IPA by Key Brewing got a 5.
That was
really good. This is overall 4.5. All right, you can do the honors, sir.
Let's take a look, man. So we got...
A, the loser, overall 2 is...
Natty Bo! It is...
It's a Pabst product.
It's a Pabst product. We just talked about it. And we said macro.
Is that potentially the same Natty Bo that's been sitting in my house for a few years?
It might be.
Not that age matters on those beers.
That's so funny. Just talking about Natty Bo, whole episode. What do we get?
Of course.
Where have I seen that little logo? Like down at the beach here somewhere.
Oh, at the beach? You've seen the guy with the one eye and the mustache? That's in Baltimore all over the place because of Natty Bo.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a Natty Bo thing. I swear I saw it on the way here.
Well, it's
Natty Bo.
Maybe someone was wearing a shirt with it in there from Baltimore. I don't know.
Good. That's possible.
So the winner overall 4.5?
Not even down in Ocean City,
What is
Where
that?
the Buffalo Rome.
No.
Cameron's Brewing. It's a barley wine, hence 13%.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
That's a little much.
But that explains a lot of the...
Cameron's? What is Cameron's? I haven't even heard of this before.
No idea, man. It's a pretty cool can, though. I like it. It's got the big buffalo on it. It's one of those typical silver cans with the label.
Can I take a look
Ontario, Canada.
What?
Oakville. Ontario, Canada.
So I'm assuming Rebecca got this from Wine World. Recommendation from Josh Rodriguez.
That beer right there needs to sit for a couple years.
Cameron's Brewing. It says extra strong beer. It's a 13%. It says 90 IBUs.
Yeah,
that's really high.
That must be part of the astringency we got in the end. That bitter. It's bitter alcohol.
All Cascade hops.
Yeah.
The malts are Munich and 2-row. I like when they have this information.
Yeah. That's always nice.
Okay. Yeah, Ontario, Canada. Wow. I didn't know we were getting stuff from there. Oh, it's imported by Esber Beverage Company out of Canton, Ohio.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. That beer would be good with a couple years age on it.
I think it's good now.
I
like it now, but the astringency would come down with a few years on it.
And I think those Carlin characters would even be more pronounced with another year or two age on that.
Yeah.
Because then the alcohol would die down.
Those characters would come out as well.
And those characters would have a little bit more time to develop.
Yeah, it would be like real rich.
Yeah.
And just like smooth caramel.
Yeah. Ooh. It might be too sweet though if you wait too long.
I kind of want to go buy some of these and just throw them in the back of the cellar.
Yeah.
Ooh, forget about them.
It'd be a good beer to do it with.
Yeah. No, it definitely would.
Yeah.
I assume maybe that comes in 4-packs. Because since it's 16-ounce can.
Probably.
So maybe just get a 4-pack, age it for a few years.
Just drink one a year.
Yeah. Could do. Well, not the first year because we're having to now maybe do a 2-year, a 3-year, and a 4-year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or go crazy and get 2 4-packs.
Yeah. I actually have a barley wine downstairs that I had this same problem with. And I think it's about 3 years old now. I'm going to have to...
Which one?
Oh, man.
Do you remember?
All I remember is it looked... You know the original Red Bull can? It's not those big-ass things they have now. The original little skinny ones?
Yeah.
It came in one of those.
6 Point Brewing? They're the ones who typically do that.
It's yellow. It is a bright yellow can. No, not yellow. It's like a goldish yellow can.
High res?
No,
so
it's not high res.
Like...
It's a barley wine.
Huh.
Res.
Is it,
I feel like it's got Boom in the name somewhere.
Yeah, Lowered to Boom by 21st Amendment Brewing.
Yes, okay.
Yep, that's who it is. Yep.
I say, because it's a couple years old, and that I had the same problem with it. Tasted it, it's just alcohol through and through the first year I had it. And then I let the other one sit, because I think I bought 2. Or maybe I bought 3 or 4 and just ended up drinking the other ones, but...
For this being 13% and that 13% showing, it's got a lot of good flavor though.
Yeah. Knowing that it's 13%, the alcohol doesn't bother me as much. I'm glad I went with the 5 instead of the 4.
Yeah, makes me want more from Cameron's Brewing because I haven't had much from Canada anyway, so that would just be fun to taste more from Canada. Wow.
Yeah, that's a nice beer.
Cool. Very funny that we ended up with a Natty Boh, and our topic was about Pabst, which does Natty Boh. Ridiculous.
That's amazing. Love it. I love when things work out like that.
I don't know how it keeps happening. Yeah. Anyway, thanks again. We'll see what happens after this. And
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. But people, if you have any questions, concerns, you want to give us ideas for episodes or beers to have on the show as warm-ups or mystery beers, just send an email, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. On Instagram, as I think, just look for Brutal Battle.
Yes.
Kyle Norman's on Instagram, though, too.
I am. My home brewery is now, yeah. The Board of Education Brewing.
It's great.
Yeah.
BORED.
Yeah, board, like tired of it, yeah. Board of Education. Yeah, we've got a whole plan for that.
Yeah.
So should be fun.
Check out the website. Please do us a favor, give us some reviews on iTunes. Although we're not just on iTunes, we're on Stitcher and Google Play and just on the website, brutalbattle.com. So,
and if you want, he'll just mail you cassette tapes of the episodes.
Sure, yeah. 8 tracks even, if you need it.
Oh, yeah. You get multiples of those, though, because they don't hold much.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks once again, and until next time.
Keep it tired hands.
Brutal.
Oh, Brutal Battle, yeah.
This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.